maybe you've already said this, but do you have any tips for people who maybe have an idea or a project or something like that they want to get off the ground, but like don't really know where to start?
No, I need that advice. If you ask that to everyone, tell them to send it.
Okay, we'll
Yeah,
report
yeah.
back.
Thank you.
Welcome to Cool Friends. I'm Ellie, and this is the series where we sit down with fun, cool, creative people to hear about the fun projects that they do and how they got started. So today, I'm talking to Allie Parajon. Hello. Thank you for
Hi.
being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Could you tell people what you do? A little bit about yourself?
I am in corporate America, unfortunately. And with that, I think, you have to have some sort of like creative outlet. So I decided to start Saturday Stims here as a creative outlet. One, because I need that. It's been, you know, a long time since I've had something like that. So that's how it started. Something to like, get my hands dirty, whatever. And then I was like, I love flowers so much. They bring life into the space that they're in. Like, I want to share them with people. And so Saturday Stims was born. And the idea is that, like, you get stems on a Saturday. And so, like, I put them on Instagram. If people want to grab them, they can do like custom orders in between that. But yeah, it's really just something that I think brings me joy and I hope brings other people joy.
Amazing. So you work as an HR professional, correct?
Yes, I am a recruiter at a tech company.
Speaking as an HR professional, what is your best career advice for creatives who might be feeling like stuck, uncertain, hopeless right now?
I don't know that I like am truly taking my own advice in this. Like, just do it. Like, just start now and figure it out. Like, that's like, this is very low key and I wouldn't even really call it a business, but like, I just started it. And so like, and it's kind of taken off, or like I've got people that are really interested in it. And so I think that's like, just start somewhere and kind of go from there.
Speaking from HR, are jobs actually looking at our social media websites?
I don't. So again, probably a bad person to ask. I mean, if it's on your resume and you highlight maybe creative projects, to me it's important to you, and I think it like I'll look at it. And I found some like cool things like that. I recruit for like salespeople, so it's not always those creative people. But if it's highlighted on your resume or something, or you call it out in any way, I'll definitely look. But I'm not gonna go searching for like I don't care that much.
You hear that, mom?
Also, yeah, please don't look at my social media. That's another, like, I don't look because I don't want that coming back to me.
Fair. Although you are a really good follow.
I mean, thank you.
For sure. Okay, so you kind of talked about this, but how did Saturday Stems start?
Yes. Okay. So creative outlets really needed that. My mom passed away a couple years ago. She always loved flowers, always had flowers in the house. She like worked kind of in the industry for a little bit when I was a kid. And I remember her like having like dried flowers like in her kitchen. So they're always around, always like something that I loved. So she passed away and kind of feeling lost, like wanted to quit my job, all of this, and like wanting to feel connected to her again. And I think that like really kind of blossomed, if you will, from there. But yeah.
Is it peak millennial to try and monetize a hobby?
I think so. Unfortunately, but I am peak millennial and that's okay.
Yes.
Another thing is too though, like you're not supposed to monetize your hobby because then you like don't love it anymore. Isn't that the whole thing?
Yeah, that you do it so much that it
It's
takes
like
the
your
joy.
job, yeah. So I don't know.
Hopefully that hasn't happened yet.
Not yet.
So what do you specifically about flower arranging and putting together a bouquet? What do you love about it?
I think flowers are really interesting because it's one of the, if not the like most perishable product to work with. Like you can't freeze flowers. I mean, I guess you can if that's, but like you can freeze food. You can like, so flowers are like, it's really kind of like they're here and then they're not. Which I don't know what the deep lesson in that is, but I think that's really interesting. And I think they just like give life and space and to like into the spaces they come into, and they're pretty and they smell nice, and it's like working with your hands.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think so much of us have like clicky clack computer jobs.
Yeah.
Now it must feel so nice to do something with your hands.
Yeah. Yeah. I also like, yeah, clicking clack computers, and it's just, ugh. So
Do you find it's almost like meditative putting together a bouquet?
Ideally, yes. Like when everything is going together and everything's working, it is. It can get frustrating when things in my eye don't look right. But I do think like the one thing about flowers too is that no matter how they're arranged, they're pretty. So and like what's pretty to me may not be pretty to someone else. So like I have to get out of that mind. But yeah, just put on like some music and work with it. You're in the sunshine. So yeah, it's great.
Do you start off with a vision of what you know of how it's going to look, or do you kind of just let it evolve?
It depends. If someone asks for like a custom order, I'll ask if they have a vision. Usually it's like you have creative free will. And so like really when I go into it, I start with like colors. And I'm really bad still at like color theory. Like that is something I should probably work on. That's what kind of starts. Or I'll find like one flower that is like speaking to me and I'll like work around that.
What would you say are your top 3 flowers right now?
I love dahlias. So it's dahlia season too.
Oh, we were asking about
Yeah.
that. There we go.
So that's a dahlia. I love those. I love ranunculuses. I still don't know if I say that right. I
Sure.
should. And then a new one that I have worked with recently is a Cosmo. It looks kind of like this. They come in different colors and they're just kind of fun, wilds looking.
What would be a good flower name for a dog slash baby?
Poppy.
That is a good one.
That
You
is
had that right off the bat.
Maybe because that's actually a name. But I love Poppy. Chrysanthemum, if you remember the book Chrysanthemum.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a hard one to spell though for a little kid, I think.
That's
And
true.
for me.
Yeah, if you really want to traumatize your kid.
Yeah. Literally.
Do you have like a dream client for Saturday Stems? Because we're all about manifesting here.
I haven't thought about this. Like Britney Spears, but
Yes.
she loves red roses. That's an
Absolutely.
easy one.
Yes, Brittany, if you're watching, we
If you're
love
watching,
you.
we love you.
And we want to bring you flowers.
She deserves her flowers.
Oh, absolutely. We talked a little bit about being peak millennial, but what else is peak millennial about you?
Loving Britney Spears so much. What's peak millennial about you? Or are you?
I definitely am,
Yeah.
for sure. Really being into reality TV right
I
now.
mean, of course. That's when people say reality TV is their like guilty pleasure. I feel no guilt about it. It is, I think, just so good.
My take is that reality television for so long has been like, oh, it's like for women. It's like a bimbo show, blah, blah, blah. And then recently in every interview, it's like Seth Rogen's
Oh,
obsessed, Ben
yeah.
Stiller's obsessed.
And I just like to go on record that we were right this whole time. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
It's not niche. It's popular culture.
Yes. And it's like, it says something about the world at large. I mean, it's reality TV. My husband loves reality TV too, and he loves the housewives and he calls them his ladies. He's like, I wonder what my ladies are up to. I'm like, me too. Let's find out.
Every guy I know loves reality television, whether that's Vanderpump or Love Island.
Vanderpump
or
is a
whatever.
great gateway into reality TV. Yeah.
Yeah. What has been the most surprising or interesting thing for you about starting Saturday Stems?
So I am definitely not a business minded person. I think there's a lot of logistics that go into it, and my brain doesn't work that way. So, like, thinking about growing it in long term is kind of scary because all of these things are just unknowns to me. I've never done something like this. And so I've been really surprised of like the support and like people, cheering me on and liking, the stuff that I'm creating. So that's cool.
Yeah, have you been surprised by the reception?
Yeah. I mean, yes and no, because I have really supportive friends who like cool stuff. And so like, of course they're gonna, receive it well. Yeah, a little bit.
I think that's like a really important thing to remember is sometimes when we're making something, we automatically assume that when we put out in the world, we go to the worst possible
Right.
scenario. It's like people are going to make fun of me, people are going to
Right.
comment, people aren't going to like it or get it. But ultimately, we forget how supportive,
Right.
for the most part, either people are neutral or they're supportive.
Yeah. Right. Again, at least I'm doing it. Like, So
Yeah.
if you don't like it, just don't tell me.
Yes. I think back to your point, like you started.
Right.
A lot of
Right.
people have ideas and don't start, but
Right.
you actually did.
And definitely there's like room for improvement and like, tweaking it and all of that. But like, again, started and that's good.
I also think it's important to note that this came out of feeling frustration. Like you were saying, you're feeling kind of stuck and lost. And I think a lot of the big YouTubers and content makers out there will be like, you need to quit your job. You need to do this, this, and this. And that can be really overwhelming for people who
Right.
maybe don't have a bunch of savings or
Right.
whatever.
Well, and the thing is too, it's like I would love for this to take off and be my job, but that's not, feasible. And so that's why I think too, it's like Saturday Stems because I have the time to do it. Starting, and if it starts small and then see where it goes, that's what you have to do.
I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
What kind of things do you do that kind of help you get in like the zone or like lift your spirits?
I mean, I love all things pop culture, which I don't think that's a unique thing or, whatever. But I like to, I've got all my like parasocial podcast friends. So like seeing what's up with them.
Of course, you got to check in.
Gotta check in with my friends, going on walks. I think especially like in LA with like all of the different, that's what I like tell people, and they're kind of like LA. I'm like, I love California. There is like more plants and trees and flowers that I've ever seen. I grew up on the plains, so like none of this was here. So like going on walks and just kind of taking in nature, I think is really cool and like helps me realize that my problems are not that big. You're pretty basic.
I think that's a good answer for sure. Do you think, like, if you were to talk to high school, college age you and tell them you were doing Saturday STEMs, like, what would they think?
It's a good question. I think they would be like, "You are so lame." No, I think high school and college me, and even until recently, like pretty afraid to put myself out there and like fearful of like what other people think. And I think with age and just whatever, like that obviously starts to maybe quiet, which is why I did this. But I think they'd be like, cringe. Like I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah. You know what? You're cringe, but you're free.
I am cringe. You have to climb Cringe Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But on the other side of Cringe Mountain is
Freedom.
freedom. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's a geography lesson for you. What would you say are kind of your kind of like pillars or secrets to like building a good, interesting bouquet?
good question. And I think I'd be really curious to hear how like true florists like think about this. There's obviously like the like fundamentals of like you need X amount of flowers and fillers and things like that. But I think in my mind, just something that like feels right. Like I don't know. I don't really go into it like with the formula like that. It's like when people say like, I don't know, I kind of black out and then there it is. I feel like that's kind of how I approach things, which is probably not good for scaling a business. But one thing that and this doesn't really answer your question, but I took a floral arranging class once and someone was like, how do you know when it's done? Like, how do you, and the instructor was like, if it's beautiful, it's done. If like you think and I think it's really simple. Like, there's not a lot. Like,
So
to think, I don't know.
you would say it's really about trusting your perspective and your experience.
Yeah. And I'm sure people that have been doing this forever have much different answers to that. But where I am right now, I think it is like, yeah.
What was the kind of like jumping off point for starting Saturday STEMs? I know you said you took a class in the past, but did you take one more recently and you were like, hey, I want to do this too?
Yeah, about a year ago, I took 2-hour class flower arranging, which was lovely. It was at Flower School LA, and so of course we had like the best flowers and just like really amazing product and a great instructor. So loved that, and then I started kind of practicing on my own, and then I took a 2-day course that really taught like fundamentals of like conditioning and cleaning the flowers and knowing all of the like stuff that you don't see when you look at a bouquet. So that was really nice. And then again, I think just like needing an outlet and being able to kind of use it as a time to zen out has been really great. And then if that, brings other people happiness or joy, like that's great.
Love that. So you say you make these bouquets on the weekends, whether or not people are going to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Like, is there a deeper lesson there for people who are making stuff?
I mean, I think if you're making stuff, like you have to, and again, this is like, I'm really new to being in a space where I like create things. Like you have to make it for yourself too. Like you can't just be making things for other people. Obviously, I want people to take them, but like it's a time for me to zone out and do all of that. But also, if no one buys them, my house is full of flowers, which like who wouldn't want?
For sure. I know you said you don't think of yourself as a creative person,
Yeah.
but has starting this and doing this endeavor kind of changed your perspective on creative versus non-creative people?
No. I mean, I don't know. I think everyone can be creative, and that obviously looks different for everyone.
And then if people want to get their own Saturday stems, where can they find you? How can they contact you?
Yeah.
How can they support?
Yes, thank you for asking. So right now, small scale, still just on Instagram, saturday.stems. You can send me a DM and we can go from there. I typically, ask people budget, brief, all of that, and I'm happy to do that and run from there or take creative control.
More flower hot takes. What do you think is the most underrated flower?
Almost underrated flower, daisy.
Okay.
Everyone loves daisies, but I feel like people think of them as like they can't be like a showstopper, but I think they can.
The most overrated.
Like a red rose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like
Mm.
like a cut hydrangea. Like I like the bushes, I think gorgeous. I don't love working with them and I think they like overpower a bouquet if they're in them.
Oh,
I think there's a time and place for all of that, but maybe not for me.
yeah. A little
Yeah.
too much diva energy from the
Yeah. Which
hydrangeas.
maybe we need sometimes. Like maybe I should change my stance on that. But yeah, that's sort of how I'm feeling right now.
Question that just came to me off the top of my head. What has flower arranging and starting Saturday stems taught you about flowers that you think you can apply to life in general?
I think like going back to what I said earlier is like they are, here for a short time. And like this is so pretty, but like they're here, they give people joy and then, they're gone, which is kind of like life. Like, we're not here forever. It's corny, but I feel like that's what it is.
We can be cringe and corny. We've already set that
I
baseline.
mean, that's peak millennials, so
Yeah, for sure. For every guest I bring on the show, I'm asking them to introduce me to their coolest friend as a way to keep expanding my circle
it.
and keeping the like positive connections going. So I'm asking you, would you be down to introduce me?
Of course.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have a friend off the top of your head?
I actually have two.
Oh my
Is this not too
God.
many? Is that to be
No,
greedy?
the more the merrier.
Okay, great. So the first person that came to my mind is my sister. Talk about creativity. She definitely got most of that in the family, but she has started like sewing and creating clothing, which is really cool. She's got an Instagram also called SFN, the brand. Sydney fucking Nichols. I don't know if I can curse. She's kind of in the same spot of where she's at with everything that I am. So that's really exciting. We're trying to figure out how to do like a collab for
Love that.
yeah, keeping the family. And then my second friend, he's a little bit more established, Brendan, he owns a company called Austin Oyster Company in Austin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it started during the pandemic and they would like bring oysters to people's house and like shuck them. And it's just kind of exploded and now they're opening a restaurant and it's
That's
great.
so cool.
Yeah, so if you're over in Austin, check them out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course. I'll hook you up.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And yeah, check out Saturday Stems.